Absolutely, without stepping onto the field, the San Francisco 49ers just made the entire NFL pause and take notice. The kind of buzz that's been surrounding this team lately isn't just the regular offseason hype. This is serious. There's a quiet but undeniable confidence around this squad right now. And if you've been paying attention to how they've positioned themselves heading into the season, you know exactly why people are talking Super Bowl again. That phrase, Hooper Bowl contender, gets thrown around a lot in this league, sometimes carelessly, sometimes way too early. But when it starts to come from not just fans, but from analysts, insiders, executives, and even former players, it means something. Now, before anyone jumps the gun or gets too excited, let's be clear, nothing is guaranteed. Every team looks good on paper in July. Every roster looks deep. Every camp buzzes with potential. But that's not the point here. The point is perception. The point is narrative. When a team like the 49ers starts being included in those upper tier conversations, when respected voices in the league start listing them alongside the likes of the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Bills, it tells you that something has shifted. Something about the way this team is built, the way it's coached, the way it's expected to perform. It's different. And that's worth paying attention to. It's not just talk either. I asked fans recently what they believe the ceiling is for this team, and the response was overwhelming, not just in number, but in tone. The 49ers faithful are not cautiously optimistic. They're fired up. 14 wins, not a dream. People are seriously expecting that. 12 or 13 wins. Most common answer. There's a growing sense that this team has both the talent and the schedule to make something big happen. You hear it in the comments. You feel it in the energy online. This isn't just one of those hopeful fan base moments. It's collective confidence backed by a franchise that's been knocking on the door for a while now. What's fascinating is how this optimism is lining up with what the national media is now starting to say. Just recently, Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk dropped a report that's been circulating like wildfire. In it, he straight up lists the 49ers the 49ers is not just a team to watch, but one of the top Super Bowl contenders, and not in the if everything goes right category. He puts them squarely in the conversation with teams that are already championship caliber. According to Florio, in a typical NFL season, there are about 10 teams that are true contenders. The rest either aren't close or could swing in either direction. And guess who's firmly in that top group? San Francisco. Not maybe, not borderline. Firmly. When someone like Florio, who's been covering the league for years and doesn't just throw praise around, recklessly says the 49ers are legit contenders, you stop and listen. That means executives around the league are taking this roster seriously. That means scouts are watching closely. That means coaches are preparing differently. And most of all, it means that expectations, both inside and outside the organization, are sky high. That said, let's be honest, this team has been here before. We've heard the chatter, we've seen the potential, and we've also seen the disappointment when it didn't pan out. Last year is still fresh. A season that began with hopes of redemption ended in frustration. A 6-win campaign that never should have happened, even with the injuries. Because talent-wise, they were better than that. And that's part of what's fueling the urgency. Now, there's a feeling that they left something on the table. That they're due. And if the 49ers, here this is where the 49ers are about to enter one of their peaks again under Kyle Shanahan, we all know what that looks like. NFC Championship run, Super Bowl appearances. That's his pattern. When things click, they click in a big way. And speaking of clicking, individual players are starting to get serious national attention too. Christian McCaffrey is a perfect example. NFL executives, scouts, and coaches just ranked him the 5th best running back in the league. 5th. And yeah, you might look at that and say, wait, what, below names like Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs? It raises eyebrows. But then you realize, what's behind those rankings? It's not just about talent, it's about durability. It's about availability. And while McCaffrey has shown he's an elite weapon, when healthy, the league is clearly still cautious because of that injury. History! Still, there's no denying what he brings to the table. You look at metrics from fantasy pros, for example, and while fantasy isn't a perfect measure, it's useful for projecting production. And McCaffrey is right up there in tier 2, just a step below guys like Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, depending on the format. And again, that's less about skill and more about risk management, because when he's locked in, when he's out there every week, few backs can match his versatility. Running, catching, blocking. He does it all. And for a system like Shanahan's, that kind of weapon opens up everything. The floor gets higher, the ceiling Super Bowl level. The league knows this too. One NFL personnel executive even said he's a great player, but he's always had durability issues even in college. He takes great care of himself, but he's not a big body, and that could catch up to him. Fair critique. But then you hear another scout say he's still the prototype. He's the best player on the field at times. That's the tension around McCaffrey. Everyone agrees on his talent. It's just about how long it holds up. And that extends to the rest of the offense as well. Take Jawan Jennings, for example. The guy who used to be called Third and Jawan because of his clutch catches on critical downs. That nickname doesn't even do him justice anymore. He's evolved beyond that role. According to data compiled recently, Jennings ranked 4th in the entire league for contested catches, 31 contested targets, 21 contested receptions. That's a huge number. That puts him right in the mix with elite receivers known for physicality and toughness. You see, not every wideout is going to get separation like Brandon Ayuk. Some guys don't win with speed or space. They win with hands, with timing, with strength. And that's what Jennings has brought to this team. He's reliable, he's gritty, and he's made himself indispensable, especially during stretches when Ayuk was out or limited. He became the guy that Purdy could trust when the play broke down, when the pocket collapsed, or when the defense was swarming. You need that in a playoff caliber offense. You need guys who don't flinch in traffic. Jennings is that guy. All this goes to show that the 49ers aren't just hype. There are real measurable reasons for the confidence, real production, real growth. From the coaching staff down to the last guy on the depth chart, this organization feels like it's been building towards something. That sense of unfinished business from last year is driving them now. And fans can feel it. 8 days. That's how close we are to the next chapter starting. 8 days from kickoff. And if you're a 49ers fan, or even just a fan of football that thrives on drama, on redemption, arcs on loaded rosters trying to chase history, then you better keep your eyes on this team. Because every sign is pointing toward a season that's going to have something to say come January, maybe even February. And the story doesn't end here. There's still depth charts to break down, training camp battles to monitor, roster, surprises to analyze, position groups that are still wide open. We haven't even scratched the surface of all the nuances this team will offer once the pads are on and the real games begin. But what's already crystal clear is this: the 49ers are done with being just a team full of potential. They're aiming higher. They've tasted the top. And now the hunger is back. The San Francisco 49ers are in a position that's both exhilarating and fraught with pressure. After a season that fell well short of expectations, the organization is faced with the task of not just rebuilding, but reinventing. It's a delicate balance between maintaining the identity that brought them success under Kyle Shanahan and evolving in ways that address glaring weaknesses. The offseason moves, the draft picks, and the training camp battles all feed into this larger narrative, a story about redemption, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. What makes this chapter especially compelling is the spotlight on the quarterback situation. Brock Purdy, who emerged as a surprising and electrifying figure last year, has transformed the perception of the position in San Francisco. Initially, drafted as a later-round gamble, Purdy's calm demeanor, sharp decision-making, and clutch performances changed the trajectory of the team's season. Many experts initially doubted whether he could carry a franchise forward. But by season's end, he was being mentioned alongside the league's more promising young QBs. That's no small feat in today's NFL landscape, where quarterback play can make or break a team's championship hopes. Despite Purdy's undeniable progress, there remains an underlying tension about how sustainable his success can be. Shanahan is known for his offensive creativity, but also for demanding precision and consistency from his quarterbacks. Purdy's rookie campaign showed flashes of brilliance, but also moments of inexperience. The question now is whether he can elevate his game further, especially against the league's elite defenses. The 49ers coaching staff has invested heavily in his development, focusing on refining his mechanics, improving his pocket awareness, and expanding his ability to read complex defensive schemes. If he can take that next step, the team's offense will be formidable. If not, the pressure will mount quickly, and questions about the franchise's future at the most important position will resurface. This quarterback uncertainty has also impacted the team's approach to roster construction. San Francisco has prioritized depth and versatility at key skill positions, knowing that the success of the offense hinges on more than just one player. The wide receiver group, for instance, has been carefully curated to complement Purdy's strengths. The dynamic combination of Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, and rookie standout Zay Flowers creates a diverse set of weapons capable of stretching defenses vertically and winning tough contested catches. Ayuk's explosive speed and route-running finesse make him a constant deep threat, while Jennings offers physicality and sure hands in the slot. Flowers, who impressed throughout the preseason with his ability to create separation and make plays, in traffic, is expected to take on a significant role early in the season. This trio provides Shanahan with multiple options, forcing defenses to spread out and adapt, which in turn opens up the running game and short passing opportunities. Speaking of the running game, Christian McCaffrey's presence remains a pivotal factor in the offense's outlook. When healthy, McCaffrey's ability to serve as both a dominant rusher and a versatile receiver out of the backfield transforms the 49ers' attack. Shanahan's system thrives on creating mismatches and forcing defenses into difficult decisions, and McCaffrey's skill set epitomizes that philosophy. His route running ability and reliable hands mean defenses cannot simply stack the box against the run. They must respect his threat as a pass catcher on every down. However, the elephant in the room remains McCaffrey's durability. The team has been meticulous in managing his workload during training camp, incorporating rest days and monitoring his physical condition to minimize the risk of injury. This cautious approach underscores the organization's understanding of how critical McCaffrey is to their championship aspirations. If he stays on the field consistently, the 49ers will have one of the most lethal offensive weapons in the league. The offensive line is another crucial element that will determine the team's success. After years of struggles with injuries and inconsistent play, 49ers invested in both the draft and free agency to bolster their trenches. The additions aim to protect Purdy better and open up running lanes for McCaffrey and others. The line's chemistry is still a work in progress, but the individual talent is undeniable. If they can gel early and stay healthy, it could make a marked difference in the offense's overall efficiency. Shanahan's offense depends heavily on timing and rhythm, which requires solid protection up front. Without it, even the best schemes falter. Defensively, the 49ers remain a formidable unit anchored by a dominant front seven that can disrupt offenses and control the line of scrimmage. Nick Bosa, who has cemented himself as one of the premier pass rushers in the league, leads the charge. His relentless pursuit and ability to pressure quarterbacks have made opposing offenses wary and contributed to a number of critical turnovers. Alongside Bosa, players like Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw continue to provide leadership and consistency at linebacker, excelling in coverage and run support alike. This core gives the 49ers a strong foundation to build around. However, the secondary is where questions arise. San Francisco has been actively addressing this area through the draft and free agency, targeting speed and versatility to improve coverage schemes. The modern NFL's emphasis on dynamic passing attacks makes a strong secondary indispensable. Shanahan's defense needs to be able to adjust on the fly and cover multiple receiver types effectively. While the cornerbacks and safeties on the roster show potential, they must prove they can handle the increased responsibilities against top-tier competition. The team's ability to avoid big plays and force turnovers will hinge largely on their secondary's development throughout the season. Special teams, often an overlooked aspect, also play a significant role in the 49ers' overall performance. Reliable kicking and punting provide critical field position advantages, while dynamic returners can flip momentum with explosive plays. San Francisco has made adjustments to these units, aiming for greater consistency and impact. In a league where games can be decided by a single play, strong special teams can be the difference between a playoff berth and an early offseason. Off the field, the culture within the organization has been a driving force behind the team's resilience and ambition. Kyle Shanahan's leadership style emphasizes accountability, preparation, and adaptability. He demands high standards from his players and coaching staff alike, fostering an environment where excellence is the norm and complacency is not tolerated. This culture has helped the 49ers attract and retain talent, create a cohesive locker room, and develop a winning mindset. It's this intangible quality that often separates good teams from great ones. The fan base, too, has rallied behind the team with unwavering support despite recent disappointments. The passion in Levi's Stadium and throughout the Bay Area reflects a community hungry for success and proud of the team's identity. This connection between players and fans fuels motivation and creates an electric atmosphere that can energize the squad during critical moments. It's a reminder that football in San Francisco is more than just a game. It's a shared experience with deep roots and high expectations. Looking ahead, the 49ers face a challenging schedule that will test their mettle from the outset. Early season matchups against division rivals and other playoff contenders will serve as key benchmarks. These games not only impact the standings, but also provide a gauge of how far the team has come in addressing its weaknesses and building on its strengths. The ability to execute under pressure, adapt to opponents' strategies, and maintain focus throughout the grind of the NFL season will ultimately determine the team's fate. In conclusion, the San Francisco 49ers stand at a pivotal moment. The blend of young talent, experienced veteran strategic acquisitions, and a strong coaching philosophy positions them well for a deep playoff run. Yet the challenges are significant, and the margin for error is slim. Every practice, every snap, every game carries weight. Success will require health consistency and a collective commitment to the team's goals. If those elements align, the 49ers could very well be on the cusp of reclaiming their status as one of the league's elite franchises. The journey promises to be thrilling and the stakes couldn't be higher. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are growing louder in the NFL circles. And if they're to be believed, one of the league's most electric playmakers might be on the move. After what many are calling the worst season of his career, there are mounting rumors suggesting that the San Francisco 49ers are preparing to part ways with star wide receiver DEBO Samuel. While nothing has been made official by the franchise insiders, claim that tensions have been simmering beneath the surface for months and a separation may be imminent, or perhaps already underway behind closed doors. It's hard to imagine the 49ers moving on from Samuel, once hailed as the heartbeat of their offense and a nightmare for defensive coordinators league-wide. But the 2024 season told a different story. Statistically, Samuel endured a steep decline, struggling with consistency, nagging injuries, and an apparent disconnect with the team's evolving offensive system. For a player who once redefined a wideback role, his impact on the field has seemingly diminished, fueling speculation that the team is ready to cut ties and look toward younger, cheaper options. Adding fuel to the fire are cryptic social media moves. Samuel recently unfollowed several 49ers-related accounts, wiped his profile clean of team imagery, and posted a vague message about new beginnings. All classic breadcrumbs in today's athlete playbook when change is on the horizon. The financial side of the story is also intriguing. Samuel's contract, loaded with incentives and guarantees, becomes increasingly burdensome if his production continues to slip. With Brandon Ayuk ascending into a WR1 role and the team reportedly exploring WR talent in the draft, many are questioning whether San Francisco sees a future that includes DEBO. At this stage, nothing is confirmed, and fans will have to wait for an official word from the front office. But where there's smoke, there's usually fire. And right now, the smoke around DEBO Samuel's future in the Bay Area is impossible to ignore. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.